Welcome back to The Fruit of Evolution, Anime Review, episode number 6. This I'm reviewing the ninth episode of the anime, Black Cat Oogla. Yes, that is the name of this episode. This episode does finish up adapting chapter 3 and starts adapting chapter 4. Yes. Before I continue with this thing, now, I have requests for some people who can help with this because I have been I may have repeated it, may have said in their video. I'm not sure. Oh come on, seriously, this is getting so freaking stupid. Anyways, yes. Yeah, this. I'm getting some really dumb notifications here. Anyways, yes. My request is simply like I'm having some difficulty in trying to find some way to read the light novels for Free Revolution. Now, I have read the first three. The fourth book, I'm having very much difficulty. There is a website I have gone to where I read the first 5 chapters, but I was not finished reading the book because that's as far they translated, and the last chapter was translated roughly 6 months ago. I really enjoy reading this stuff, so I would appreciate some help on that part. If anybody could provide me a very stable link to where I can read this stuff, and this is like the light novel, mind you, that's fine. Um, I'd be perfectly happy with it. Not the web novel. I have no desire to read with the web novel. I want the light novel. Okay. Yes. So there's my quest there. So anyone can help with that? I'd be happy I'd be happy to receive the help for that. Now, in the case of this episode, we pick up like right where we left off last week, where we have Shinichi looking through his his special night vision per se, even though it's the daytime, where he identifies the assassin as Olga, and also she's 8 years old. Apparently, she's owned by somebody. Of course, I'm gonna explain this more next episode. Excuse me. And then just by sheer coincidence, while she's running through the hallways, she just ends up right where Surichi is, like very quickly, like what the heck? And then she throws a couple kunai at him when he spots her, and then apparently by reflex, throws kunai right back at her, pins the wall, and then basically she attacks him again, and he just knocks her up pretty easily. Yep. Yeah, just knocks her out really easily when it comes to that. Yeah, so pretty much basically, like, after the knockout, Luis basically is like thankful he did, and then he goes help the king, who turns out to be the guy he just met just a couple episodes back. Yeah, this guy with the blonde hair. Turns out he's the king. Like, hey, I know him. Like, me in the cafe. So he ends up basically creating a spell out of nothing, and then heals him. Turns from eternal sleep to eternal health. Thanks him, of course, offers him basically a favor. Oh, basically, the only thing he asks is be taught how to use swords, to use magic. Simple as that. And then, of course, we have the titular bathhouse scene where we have 3 different bathhouse settings. Yes. First, we have the king and Surichi just bathing. Of course, him talking about his plan to give every bathhouses. Doesn't matter if it's in bolt or not. We have the Valkyries. By the way, one of them basically apparently is expert in SDM torture, which they tease next at the end of the episode. They're going to do that. And we also see that we see Al, Sarasa, and Luis, where they're just bathing by themselves. And of course, R is getting jealous. And then, of course, then the three get introduced to Louisa, who just happened to be the captain of the Valkyries. And, of course, prior to this, when he meets the king, he gets introduced to her brother. Yes, her brother. Which, yeah, if in fact these two do become a couple, from his perspective, and the fact how I was skilled source for, and probably because he probably suspects his sister probably has a thing for this guy, he'll probably approve a relationship, no problem. I'm like, wow, that's a bit quick. Remember the guy's family. Remember her family. Imagine he meets her parents. That would be more shocking to say the least. Yep, and of course, then the girls introduce themselves to him. He's like, "Hi, I'm Sarasa. I'm Sorichi's wife." I was like, "Hi, I'm R. I'm Sorichi's girlfriend." And it was like, "Hi, I'm Luis. I'm Sorichi. I'm master servant." Yep, they bring care of him. Yep, and then they figure out a way to deal with the Black Cat Olga. Meanwhile, a couple of minor cutaways here, where we see Courage, I think her name is. She's basically trying to friend of Suichi, who's basically trying what Kasa sent there. And then three guys saying, "Oh yeah, I'm your better." Oh my gosh, I do not like when people say that in fiction. It is by far stupidity. It's a minor pet peeve of mine when I hear someone say, "I'm your better." Shows the fact that you're freaking stupid. Nobody can. That is not somebody. Now, here's the thing. I have heard that also in like a few other series, mind you. People who say that are usually jerks or basically have a stick up their rear end where they say they're better than you. Well, yes, we hear this in wrestling, yes, but we don't hear MJ up before he decided to make his hiatus. We don't hear him say, "I'm your better." He just says, "I'm better than you, and you know it." At least they say, "I'm your better." Yeah, it's an absolute stupid line. Or say, we're your betters." Like, it is so stupid. And it is something I don't really care for. I know Linkara did it for one of his characters. Fine. Because he was a freaking jerk anyways. Yeah, basically the mirror universe version of his own character. Who just over the top, more how version Linkara normally is. Oh yeah, by the way, they actually had when he last appeared, he got eaten by a zombie. No, seriously, that's what happened to him in the show. Yep. But in the case of this, yeah, and of course you have one of the guys who worked the Congress president, tries to fight with him and doesn't really go into it, walks off. And we cut away also to the king of the Kaiser Empire, which is what the class was sent to. Or apparently the general was upset with the greedy king for sending there. Like, "Oh, you mean our slaves? Really? You summoned an entire high school class comprised of about 35 people to be your slaves instead of battling the Demon King?" Of course, bring up the king of the country where Sorichi's in, where he is like suspecting of meeting with Demon Lord. And of course, he possibly has, and of course you have that king possibly assassinate. And of course, General's like he takes on the air of the suspect. He does not like what the king did. He still works for him. He's still his boss. He still has to protect him. And he goes after him. He's like, you care about him so much. You take care of the king." He's like, "Sure, I'll take care of that." And he flies off. No, seriously, he flies off. You're thinking he's wearing a suit of armor. He doesn't have flight ability. Well, apparently he can make his legs fly through some special magic he knows. Yes, seriously, it's a thing with this show. Yep. Really fun episode, despite that coming up my nitpicks, but it's really good. And here's the thing. Only 3 episodes left to go. Now, starting with this episode, I had decided basically I'm going to put this on temporarily on the anime review schedule. The reason why, because I enjoy the series, and I don't want to switch to sub like I did with Banishing Hair Party, just because I ran out of dub episodes. That'd be quite stupid. So, yeah, first of 4. So next week will be, well, actually, yeah, basically next week, it'll be discussing the 10th episode of the anime. Which, yes, I do know the season 2 coming, which looking forward to it. Okay. So, yeah, next video is going to be a Comic Corner. And possibly after that, might be a Doctor Who review. Yes. Next video. Bye.